Hello everyone, this is Sandy Reese with StampinCrew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Thanks for joining me again today for another video. Today we are going to feature the Wisteria Wishes dies only. We're not doing the stamp set. We're going to pair the dies with the Something Fancy stamp set. I wanted to do a birthday card, just something kind of beautiful and elegant. And we have the Wisteria Wishes stamp set that coordinates with the dies, but it doesn't have necessarily a birthday sentiment or says happy birthday. So, you know, you can always pair a lot of our dies with other stamp sets. The Wisteria Wishes dies cuts out. I've got the Wisteria, some branches. Let's see what else we have in here. There are lots of dies in here. Some cut out the images and then some cut out oh my goodness, separate items that you can use with other elements. I love this because it can make flowers that are hanging down or standing up. And then these cut out the images right here, and then we have this long kind of fun branch. But I'm going to use these three, which are great stand-alone dies. So I'll show you what we're gonna do with that. All right. So I'm getting this together, just reminding you that tomorrow is the last day of celebration for this year. We're not going to be doing it again in the summer. This is a once-a-year thing, so last chance to get those orders and earn some of those great free celebration items. Okay, so I am going to start out with a layer or a card base using Fresh Freesia. This is one of my favorite colors. Love that color. Then we're going to put a base of a mat of basic gray. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. A mat of basic gray. Sometimes I get my colors confused. I love gray. It goes perfect with lavender or light purple. This Freesia, it goes great with yellow, with light blue. This basic gray is a really good color. Okay, now I have a layer of basic white that's going to go on top, but I want to do something to it. So we're going to grab out the brick and mortar embossing folder. This is a 3D embossing folder. Now you can see my embossing folder is a little warped here. Now the reason this happens is either you're not using the correct sandwich on the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, or you're trying to cut multiple sheets or emboss multiple sheets at one time, okay? You should only do one sheet at a time in here. This, you know, I use this for classes and this is what happens. But you only want to do one sheet at a time when you're using these embossing folders. Now, I'm going to add some color as well. So I'm going to grab Smoky Slate and I'm going to use a brayer. Now I could kind of go like this, but because the pad is soft, so some ink will get down into my bricks, and I only want ink basically where the mortar is, which is the raised side. It's on the Stampin' Up! Side. On the inside, if you use a brayer, and this is a hard rubber brayer, which is my favorite one to use. I'm not a big fan of foam brayers. I like the rubber ones, and this is a speed ball. But you can get these at the craft store or on Amazon or wherever. So when you ink up your brayer, don't do this, because then ink's only getting on a certain part, okay? So none of this. You want to go move it around so you get coverage on the whole thing, all right? Then we are going to lightly brayer the inside of the embossing folder on the Stampin' Up! Logo side, all right? Now this is Smoky Slate. It's light. You may not see it all. And my poor embossing folder is a little bit bent, as you can see. So I'm going to kind of go both ways, and I'm just gently brayering. Try to get good coverage, fairly even coverage. I think that'll be good. I don't have to worry about getting right to the edges because my paper's not that wide. So now I'm going to look, you can see this line right here. I'm going to, and I don't need to put it right on the line, but I'm trying to get it parallel. So I'm going to place it down, close that up, and hold it closed. Let me grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And for the 3D embossing folders, and it doesn't matter if it goes this way or this way, but you need your base plate. You put your embossing folder with the fold side in, fold that down, and then you put your gray number 4 plate on top, and then you run that through. And it should go smoothly. It popped out because my poor embossing folder is warped a little bit. But if it's not going through easily with just a little bit of pressure, then maybe something's not right. So double check that. All right, so when we pull that out, we have this great colored embossed piece, and just my gray bricks are, the mortar on my bricks are colored gray. And this adds a great texture to the card front. Okay, so we're going to adhere this down. There we get our seal going. Okay. Just like that. All right, now I've die cut our 2 blooms, and I did, one's a smaller detail bloom, then we have the larger bloom behind so we can do some layering. And then I've cut out a leaf image, or a leaf and a branch with garden green. So we have, I think this is Highland Heather, Fresh Freesia, and Garden Green. And then I've just cut out a small label. I think I used the dies from the cracker dies that make the little treat cracker box, because this was just the right size for my happy birthday stamp. So I've got a happy birthday, and then the inside sentiment from Something Fancy is grateful for the everyday magic of you. And then I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape. This is a little bit darker, but that's okay because we're going to do a little sponging too in just a second. But I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape for my sentiment. I'm going to stamp it right on there, and I did it just slightly to the right because I'm going to punch a hole right here at the end. And then I'm going to use the same Gorgeous Grape for the inside. And I'm not going to do a white piece because this is light enough that my writing's going to show up nicely. Okay, that's all the stamping we need to do. Now I'm going to grab a sponge dauber. This says GG for Gorgeous Grape, so I don't get my colors mixed up. And I'm just very lightly sponging a little bit of Gorgeous Grape on both of these, just to give them a little extra fun definition. A little bit of that darker color. Okay, that's it. Very quick and easy. It was light sponging. I know some of you are heavy spongers. This was a light sponging card. Okay, so next I'm going to glue this down. I'm going to use, pardon my arm, a little bit of our Tombow liquid glue. You could always put the adhesive sheets on the back of this if you want before you die cut. I seem to have a bubble because my glue's coming out really quickly and I don't like that. It's going to sit over there and ooze for a minute. Okay, I'm going to just put this right on the edge. Give that a press for a second. Okay, then I'm going to glue this great, beautiful wisteria vine down first. And I'm just dabbing glue in a few areas. It doesn't have to cover the whole thing. Let's put that down, and then we're going to put the smaller one on top of that. Okay, just like that. Beautiful. Okay, let's punch a hole. Now, if you don't have a little teeny hole punch, I think this is like 1/16 of an inch. You can just use your pick tool to poke a hole in there if you want. And then I'm using some of the silver trim from the Simply Elegant trim. And I'm just going to tie a little bow right on my tag here. super quick and easy. Oh my goodness, I don't know why I can't have peace in my home. I get, you just get that junk. Okay, so let's adjust this a little bit. Maybe flip it this way and tighten it up so it's not in front of our words. And then we'll grab a couple of mini dimensionals since it's such a nice little thin label. We don't want big dimensionals popping out of it, out of the bottom. And then I'm just, those are big loops. Let's bring those loops under control right there. And then we're gonna pop this up so it looks like it's tied right at the top of that flower. Cute. All right, and because we have that silver twine or silver trim, we can add some gorgeous rhinestones. Rhinestones are my favorite. Okay, let's do a medium. We'll add maybe a big one over here, and then let's add a small one up here, maybe there, and then we'll do one more small one. And you can pick up your rhinestones with either end. That dropped it. I'm gonna put it, it's just hanging on by a weird thread. I'm gonna put it up here. And I put one more down here. Sometimes I just get carried away. I just want to add a bunch. Okay, and that is it. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty and simple, very easy to do. And that's what I love about Stampin' Up! is you can use some of the dies with different stamp sets. They're very interchangeable. And these dies are gorgeous. I've done a couple of cards using this. And I know I've done one on the video, so you can look back up for Wisteria Wishes. And I think with that one, we did more stamping. And then with this one, we're just using the dies. So I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to check back next Thursday. We'll have another project. And just don't forget, celebration. Tomorrow's the last day. All right, thanks everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.